Hi everyone, and thank you again for watching another episode of Gaffer and Gear. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at this piece of equipment. This is called a Portable Palm Turbo Air Duster. So the idea is this replaces your compressed air cans. Now, this product is made by a company called VSGO, and it is very easy to find online. Okay, so let's go through what you get. So it sells for around 100 to 110 US dollars. They're just prices I found online, and around 150 to 160 Australian dollars. Okay, so it comes in this stylish cardboard box. When you open up the cardboard box, the first thing you come across is the brand story, so they tell you about who they are. So these guys, even though I've never heard of them, they've been around since 2004. So according to my YouTube stats, for the average viewer, that's a long time ago, but not that long ago for me, unfortunately. All right, so when you open up to the next level, you get some diagrams here explaining all of the components, and also attached to this piece of cardboard is something that's very important if you're going to use this with photographic equipment, and that is an air filter. So that air filter attaches into the back of the blower. So that's very important, again, if you're using it to clean lenses. So for example, if you're working on a beach, the blower isn't going to suck in a grain of sand, for example, and then spit it out at 120 kilometers per hour, which is the wind force, onto your lens. That could be bad. So the air filter is very important if you're using it to clean photographic equipment. Let's just continue through. You've got the instruction manual. Now, I've misread that name so many times because of my dyslexia. So every time I see that, I have a bit of a giggle. You get a USB-C charger cable. Next thing I'll pull out is the battery. Okay, so the battery has a spring-loaded mechanism here to secure the blower. You've got your on button or your activation button here, your trigger. Your power button is on the bottom, and you've also got a USB-C charger port down here. Now, in addition to all that, it's also got a built-in torch down the bottom there. So, you know, maybe if you need a torch, there you go. All right, so let's continue on. Now, the next bit I'm going to pull out is the actual fan mechanism. So they call this the Hurricane Launcher. All right, so apparently this set of blades here spins at 100,000 RPM. Okay, so they're metal blades, and it's all encased in protective metal mesh. You can't accidentally stick your fingers in there, so that's a good thing at 100,000 RPM. All right, so that attaches to the top. Turn the power on down the bottom, and your battery indicators will fire up. So there's 3 battery indicators. Press the trigger button and you're off. So 120 kilometers per hour of wind comes out of this. Now I'm just going to have to take their word for that. All right, so let's continue through the bits and pieces. You get one of these funky little things. They call this the Gathering Wind Nozzle. So that's just to sort of intensify the beam. So that can fit on 2 ways. It can go that way up. What's that called? Vertical. Or you can go horizontal. So just sort of directs the wind a little bit more. And the last thing in the kit is this brush. Now the brush is anti-static, so that just clips on over the front. Now I pretty much just leave it assembled like this. I've had this for a couple of months now, and this is the sort of the best combination. The brush sort of removes anything loose on the surface, and the air just blows it away. So that's a pretty good combination there. In terms of taking it apart, if you want to take it apart, I've found it's very hard to get the brush off. What I do is turn the whole lot, get the nozzle off as well, and then push the nozzle out from the brush. All right, look, that's pretty much it. There's not really a lot to say. It's essentially a hairdryer without the heat. Okay, one thing I forgot to look at was the air filter. So it's got instructions on the back of the packet, how to get the air filter in. It's pretty straightforward. You've got this, the air filter cover just comes off the back. There you go. It's a very fine filter. I was expecting that to be paper. That's some sort of mesh. Drop that into the back and put the cover back on. Simple as that. Now we've got the air filter in place. Feels like there's definitely a reduction in air pressure going through, but you know that you're protected from any nasties getting blown onto your lens. One thing I forgot to mention was the battery life. So it's claimed that this runs for around 1 hour of continuous use. Now, I've never had to use it for that long. I've only used it for quick bursts when I'm cleaning things. So I've never had to charge it because it's gone flat on location. So I've gone probably about a month or so without charging it. So the battery life is pretty good. Now, before we go, we better go through the cons. I've only got the one. It would be nice if it had a nozzle attachment so you could get into all the little nooks and crannies on the equipment.